the world which we call Europe. Europe was named after the Greek goddess EUROPA. And so, in Greek mythology, this marriage was personified with EUROPA riding upon a bull. And this is the same image that is represented in the book of Revelation. Here we have the European Union being personified as EUROPA and ZEUS. We have here a British stamp of 1984, which is associated with the European Parliament, the second election of the European Parliament, and you see how the stamp has the woman riding upon a bull. This is EUROPA, Europe, riding upon ZEUS, the New World Order system. On the left-hand side, you have a painting of 1563 and a personification of the Tower of Babel. To the right, you have the present European Parliament building in Strasbourg, France. Do you notice that the European Parliament building is built exactly after the picture of the Tower of Babel of 1563? So the statement that's being made is clear. The leaders of Europe are seeking to rebuild the Tower of Babel, and they're putting their stamp to it everywhere that you look. They know what they're doing and what they're seeking to achieve. Antiochus IV decreed a new world order under Greek culture. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 10, 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verses 41 and 42. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people. What's the goal of the New World Order? Is to have one world under the authority of the United Nations. And everyone should leave his laws, not follow Judaism, not follow Christianity, not follow Islam, but you pledge your allegiance to the New World Order. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Many people in the earth will submit to the New World Order. Antiochus IV decreed the outlawing of following Torah. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verses 44 and 45, verses 47 and 49, it is written, For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea that they should follow the strange laws of the land. That is Greek culture, Greek ways. And he forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, to the end that they may forget the law and change all the ordinances. Continuing on in 1 Maccabees chapter 1, verse 44 and verses 50 and 51, For the king sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he should die. This is pretty similar to what we find in the book of Daniel, where Daniel stood against the decree that everyone worship the Babylonian system. In the selfsame manner wrote he to the whole kingdom and appointed overseers over all the people, commanding the cities of Judah to sacrifice city by city. Now, I just read to you from the book of 1 Maccabees what is regarded as the evil decrees of Antiochus IV, who is a personification of the Antichrist in the end of days. And let's look at these evil decrees of Antiochus IV and see what they are. Number 1, the people should not follow Torah. Number 2, the people should not circumcise their children. Number 3, the people should not celebrate the Sabbath. Number 4, the people should not keep the festivals. Number 5, sacrifices should not be made in the temple. Number 6, the people should be free to eat pig. Do you notice these evil decrees? Do you realize that that is the doctrine of New Testament Christianity and what they teach, Paul teaches, and what the New Testament teaches? So these decrees of Antiochus, and he's a personification of the false Messiah, those are the exact beliefs of people who proclaim that Yeshua is the Messiah. They say we shouldn't follow Torah, we shouldn't circumcise our children, we shouldn't keep the Sabbath, we don't keep the festivals, we're not to no more have sacrifices in the temple, and we can eat anything we want. We can eat pig. And so we have doctrinally in Christianity today the acceptance of this as what a Christian does in following Yeshua the Messiah. How did this happen? Do you see the seriousness of this? Anti-Torah is the spirit of Antichrist. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verses 3 and 4. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sits in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. Historically, this is what Antiochus Epiphanes did. And every spirit that confesses not that Yeshua is the Messiah, is come in the flesh, is not of God. And this is the spirit of Antichrist, whereof you have heard that it should come, and even now already is in the world. This spirit of not following Torah, which is called the spirit of Antichrist, is already in the world. You see, when we talk about the Antichrist, the only thing that comes in our minds in traditional Christianity is this bad person in the end of days. We don't associate with the Antichrist with one who charges people not to follow the Torah. But that's literally what it means. One who is lawless. One who says we don't follow Torah. And the truth of the matter is that spirit is in traditional Christianity because we paint it with Paul, it's accepted. Where historically it was proclaimed by Antiochus IV, and historically those decrees caused a rebellion. And so let's look at this once more because it's so significant. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verse 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people, that everyone should leave his laws, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and cities of Judea, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised. For the king had sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judea, that they should follow the strange laws of the land, and forbid that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days, and that they would forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple. And they sacrificed swine's flesh and unclean beasts. I wonder if George Bush set a proclamation throughout all the land that everyone should not follow the Torah and not sacrifice in the temple and eat anything they want and not celebrate the Sabbath and not celebrate the festival days. I wonder whether he would be considered evil today or whether he would be accepted as a good Christian. We finally got a Christian president. The ancient Jews accepted this Greek Hellenism imposed upon them. 1 Maccabees chapter 1 verses 10 through 12. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been a hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. In those days went there out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. So this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen. You know what that is? Sports. And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to the whole kingdom that all should be one people, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion, and sacrificed unto altars, and profaned the Sabbath. Let's look at the history of the term democracy. It comes from the Grecian Empire. The term democracy, or more precisely, the original ancient Greek version of the word, was coined in ancient Athens in the 5th century BC. That state is generally seen as the earliest example of a system corresponding to some of the modern notions of democratic rule. And this comes from the Jewish Encyclopedia. So why have we taken the time to share with you these things that happened historically? Because they are going to be repeated in the end of days, and you need to understand this to understand the details of the events of the end of days, because the controversy of Zion and the creation of a second state of Israel, a physical state of Zion, will come about from a rebellion of Greco-Roman culture, Western values, and the acceptance of the Israeli government of these Western values. There will be a rebellion against that, and those who will stand up for the covenant that was made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and for the Torah. The people who stand up, the Bible calls Zion. So let's look at the Israeli government and how they have accepted this quote-unquote Greek Hellenism, or the values of our Western culture personified by the United States of America. In Israel, they're influenced by Western culture, Western dress, Western values, Western philosophies, and Western movies that come from Hollywood. The government of Israel is a democracy. This comes from Greco-Roman society. And the government of Israel doesn't seek to follow Torah. They follow secular humanism. And the nation of Israel is seeking to merge with the nations of the world, be a part of the nations of the world, and be accepted by the nations of the world. And this is personified through the New World Order system under the auspices of the United Nations.